Hi chaps, Simo P here from Beard, Biceps and Batchat. Today I'm bringing you a replay from Steeps in a tier 10, 9-10 game in my T-54. Now the reason I wanted to show you this replay is just highlights how I like to play my Russian tier 10 mediums. I take advantage of their camo fairly early doors, as well as their mobility, their good camo rating, and the good view range on the skills that I use in these tanks. So what I'm going to be doing initially is scouting for the teams. We've got a lot of TDs, as you'd probably expect at a tier 9-10 game. So I'm going to be heading for a little rocky outcrop all the way over at D6. Now there's a bush on the left hand side that allows me to spot into their base with optics, situational awareness and recon, where I use my camouflage to remain hidden so I can get some spotted damage. So at the minute we've managed to spot 5 of their team. 2 of our guys are already ploughing damage, or 3 of them, into their ridgeline. So what I'm going to be doing is sitting here fairly passively, just ensuring I can keep their team spotted, or as much of their team spotted as possible. That's going to get me EXP, that's going to allow our team to get hits on. Now I'm also taking shots. I'm aware there's a good chance I'm going to get spotted, but I've got some hard cover I can retreat behind until someone gets a little bit cheeky and starts slinging shots into my arse. So that's also something else we have to be aware of. So I'm quite lucky with this rock. I can be protected from 2-3 sides and keep myself fairly safe. So I've lost about half my hit points at the minute, but again, I don't want to panic. I want to keep fairly conservative. I want to start putting tracking shots in where I can as I'm spotting the enemies, so my team can carry on piling shots into them. Now there is going to be a point in this battle where I have to decide that I'm going to commit and where I'm going to commit. Now obviously we can see down the 1-2 line the Reds are making a push up there quite strongly with their heavies, their TDs. They've got a couple of guys defending their base. So we don't know if they're making a push down our right hand side. We've got a medium, sorry, our left hand side. We've got a medium and a heavy pushing quite aggressively. They've not spotted anything. We've got the waffle spotted nicely in the open. So since it's spotted, it'd be rude not to take shots into that cheeky little chap and make sure he's not around for the end game. But again, for the initial couple of minutes, it's going to be fairly passive play. Just mapping out where the enemy are, just taking advantage of our camo, using as bush protectors, taking advantage of our view range that we've got there to try and control this part of the battlefield. We're getting fairly close to the point I've got to decide when, where and how I'm going to commit myself. At the minute my gun's not being very active or effective, and I think it's at this point of the game it really needs to be. And then I spot this little cheeky chap, this little tortoise, put the shot into him, try and mobilise him. I'm surprised I didn't spot him earlier, to be honest with you. I only had to move a metre or 2. There was no bush to the side I was facing of him. So he's a lucky chap, he's survived. He's getting a couple of shots put into him for his troubles, but nothing too overly terrible. So what I decide at this minute in time is I want to push towards the 5-6 line, towards the entrance of their base. We haven't got a fully clear idea of what's hanging behind their push on the A1-2 line, and I want to help our OBJ out as best I can. So we're just going to carry on pushing. The heavies on our right on the 0 line is in a nice hold down covered position. We've taken out the tortoise, and then this naughty little E75 gets spotted by me. So I just start piling shots to him. The other guys must be rubbing their hands together. A tracked E75 side on to him, nice and flat, and off he goes. So this is the point me and the OBJ-140 can start taking out what they've got remaining in the base, which in this case is a waffle, piling shots to him. We've got to be a little bit careful keeping that rock between us. As he's facing the 140, I can comfortably sit, aim, take my shot, put it into the weak armour, into his turret, and just take him out. Now we're in a position where we can get flanking shots into their advance, although I'm getting shot at by some fluky little bugger. So we've got to repair ourselves, push onto the left hand side. We've only got our TD left on the D1-2 line. we've got to make sure we're supporting him. With the tanks they've got left, he could be in real trouble. They could push that flank. We've got an even number of tanks left, so we've got to be quite aggressive here and make sure we catch them. The flip side of all that is I don't have many hit points left, so I suppose you'd call it controlled aggression. I get caught out a little bit there, Sixth Sense goes off. We've got the two TDs who are in a good position to put shots into me. So what I'm doing a little bit here is a little bit of peekaboo, just snapshotting, just relying on them aiming at this OBJ 140. Hopefully they're aiming at him and not at me. They've got every chance of taking me out in one shot, two at most in this position. So I've got to be a little bit clever, or I think clever anyway. So I'm going to push around the right hand side of this hill, use that as hard cover, and what I want to do is get into the flank or back of the TD, medium and heavy that they've got left. So I'm going all the way around. I'm not risking any shots into me. And we've got to decide, do we go for the E75 or do we go for the auto-load and American medium? Now E75 shouldn't be able to get shots into me, the medium could. We've got the OBJ 140 closing in on the E75, so we're just going to circle him to death, put shots into him. My last shot isn't going to be enough to kill him, so I just want to take out the front drive wheel, so if someone else kills him I get some spotted damage from him. So a pretty good game overall in the end, and a good way to highlight how I play my Russian mediums, passively then fairly aggressively. So let's see how we've done. In this game I managed 6,000 combined damage, and that's still only a second class, so again I have no idea what you guys are doing in your T-54s, but it's gotta be amazing, so I'd love to see how well you guys are doing in them. If you like the video, like below, leave me a comment, and if you're enjoying the content, subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you later, chaps.